But
Like,
that's
really
what
interesting.
it always take the theoretical away and it's personal. Every single time. There is no doubt in my mind that the Tea Party is motivated first and foremost by one thing, the color of Barack Obama's skin. That is what brings, it's not about being a deficit hawk, none of that. Now, and there's unfortunately still some people who keep giving them the benefit of the doubt that somehow the Tea Party has some other thing on their mind other than their abject panic and
Well-
distaste for a black gentleman telling them what not to do because he's the most conciliatory guy in
and
the
really
world.
a gentleman. Like, underscore that word.
How and you know
Most
what?
conciliatory person imaginable.
That it is gone.
Caller,
That's
let
like
me-
pathologically conciliatory at this point.
I appreciate the call. I think those insights were
Yes,
really
thank you.
spot on. And I will say, Janine, that,
All right.
But thanks for the
guys.
call.
Thanks.
I want to say, too, that Janine, you are not the only one. Now, the only thing that I would maybe correct you in terms of that it's not just about President Obama's skin color. It's also about the skin color of other people who don't have white skin.
You are right, and some of them are female. Even worse.
BuzzFeed
Even worse.
reporter John Stanton
Excuse me. Woo!
doing a story on immigration. And I mean, the immigration issue is really a question because it's clearly the big money in the Republican Party wants immigration reform. They want those workers. And there is broad popular support for immigration reform that allows for some path to citizenship. Just John Stanton did a piece where he got a quote from a Republican lawmaker who gave this quote, of course, anonymously. He said, one Republican lawmaker recently offered a frank acknowledgement for many members. There's just one issue at play, not often discussed, when it comes to their inability to pass an immigration bill in the House. Race. Quote, part of it, I think, and I hate to say this because these are my people, but I hate to say it, but it's racial, said the Southern Republican lawmaker. Thus my
Why does
accent.
he hate to say it?
If
Why
you
does
go
he
to
hate-
the town halls, people say things like, these people have different cultural customs than we do, and that's code for race. And he hates to say it because, of course, nobody likes the idea that I'm actually in Congress representing a bunch of racists.
But yeah, but they all know it. They
Right.
all know it. There can be under no illusion about what the Republican Party has become over the last 30 years, who they represent, and how they need these people more than ever as the world moves forward.
Now,
without
here
them.
is Lindsey Graham commenting on the same...
Get it, girl.
Commenting on the same phenomena. But he won't even come out and say that. He says, there will always be people who have different reasons for opposing the change. We have a history in this country of demagoguery when it comes to immigration. You know, Irish need not apply. Now, that's not
People love
demagoguery.
pulling that one back
that's
from history.
That's not demagoguery. That's racism.
Right.
There's a book called How the Irish Became White.
There's
It's the same
nothing.
point.
And there's no
nothing
dogs or
new.
Irish allowed.
There's nothing new going on today that's gone on before. In other words, there's still a bunch of racism in our party. This isn't the first
No,
time there's
Sandy
been
Rio
some
said.
ugliness.
Sandy Rio said that the Anglo-Saxons and the white people were done with racism years ago. Sandy Rio said it, so we know it's true.
That's where
She's-
Austin Ruse, that guy from that we had on yesterday, had said his comments about Chopped, actually, on the Sandy Rio show.
Oh yeah, well she said, listen, Sam, this is a fact. She said that the Anglo-Saxon crowd, white people, have been finished with racism for years. It is the black people who keep it alive, and so you can understand, especially what she sees when she's in Washington, why whites would maybe want to be racist because of the behavior of the blacks.
Right,
Said
right.
Sandy
Black
Rio.
people are forced to be racist.
I
Everybody
can't stand
does.
white
Said
people.
Sandy Rio.
White people make me sick.
And then they got a quote from Anna Navarro, a Republican strategist and advocate for immigration reform. There's some racist people, certainly, but I want to think it's a minority, and that's not what's going to
That
decide
would
this
be
immigration
fun to
debate.
think that. It would be fun to think that. But even if it was a minority of them, that they're there. But the thing is it can be no secret to anyone that Like, and the new, what was it? The other, another Hack Anderson Cooper story or something. They were talking about how Google and Yahoo, they can sweep your information up too. You know, you when you're on Facebook or whatever,
They do.
people can. I know.
Yeah.
So, and it was like, aren't you alarmed by this? And they managed to find the one guy in New York City that seemed genuinely surprised. Like they did a man on the street, and I was like, how long did it take them to find that one guy
Probably just a couple hours.
who was saying like,
Navarro
I
was
don't like it.
interrupted by a House member who confused her with cleaner on his staff.
What?
I'm just kidding.
But you know what? There is every reason to say that could have happened.